And what is more patriotic than a mass shooting on the 4th of July?
I don't know in America.
I mean, I think mass shootings replaces apple pie. In these days. America.
And didn't one of them happen in Kenosha? Where was Kyle Rittenhouse?
There was one in Minneapolis too. And there was another one in Phoenix.
Yeah, I read there was a ton of them. Wasn't there? There was one in Illinois.
I guess
a certain part of Illinois.
I guess you don't need fireworks anymore.
Not when you have bullets.
Yeah, it's a real thing. Hey, and and a nice American shout out and fuck you to Kid Rock.
For his music or something else?
I used to like his music. I used to. But I guess when you're not relevant anymore, you have to do shit like tweet out after a mass shooting that if you're anti-gun, then you have no right to celebrate the 4th of July because you wouldn't fight back. Go celebrate Pride Month, pussy.
Is he in favor of the shootings on 4th of July then? Just to be clear.
I don't know.
I mean, if you're saying you have no right, if you don't like guns, you have no right to celebrate America's independence.
Right.
Okay.
From the socialist.
I'm trying to not laugh here.
From the socialist British. And I think it was Marjorie Taylor Greene who tried to say that because the British soldiers were socialist and Muslim. That's why we had to fight back against them.
Where does she...
And the Mexicans. And she mentioned and the Mexicans.
Where did she learn history?
We don't teach history anymore. Get rid of all those books and learning and stuff.
She's I'll just make shit up.
Fuck. God, this country is just fucked. Fucked. I'm sorry. I want to be patriotic and love my country and shit, but it's just fucked up. And here's the thing. And before we get into everything, but we'll start it like this. Why does the one side, and they say everything's gone to shit. Mm-hmm. Everything's gone to shit in this country, but Roe v. Wade gets overturned.
They're literally getting their way.
Nothing passes the Senate because we don't have enough votes.
I know. So they're literally getting what they want. And they're still angry.
Yeah, capitalism is working at its finest. Crude oil is under $100 a barrel, but gas prices, they came down a few cents.
Right.
That's Joe Biden.
They're still barely under $5 though, a gallon.
What else do they have? You pray in school and shit now, and you can't. The federal government cannot regulate the states to force these massive companies to reduce their emissions.
Do you think they're so dumb that they don't even realize they're the ones winning?
Yeah, they're winning.
I mean, it's are you guys really that fucking stupid? I just thought they were hateful, but their hate makes them even dumber.
We have the presidency, the House, and the Senate, and they're winning because they get to steal Supreme Court picks. Yeah. But, no offense to our friend Jem and the whole filibuster thing, this is what fucking happens.
Yeah, we get nothing done. I mean, It's I still want to know the solution to leaving the filibuster in. I'm still open to that. I'm open to anything at this point. I mean, America needs help, y'all.
And let's start with this. Let's go after some corporations here. And it sounds like every comic from the 1970s. How about them?
Better place to start than the airlines.
How about those airlines? Capitalism at its finest.
Anytime there's a discussion that starts about the airlines, I'm like, when are we going to get the high-speed trains? Just fuck them. Fuck them. When are we getting the high-speed trains here in America? I want those.
Okay, let me tell you my situation. So last week, I go to fly to Raleigh, North Carolina, and initially they overbooked my flight
Of
going
course.
there. Now, if you have 120 seats on the plane, why do they allow you to sell 130?
That should be against the law, but we don't want regulations, now do we? We want them to be able to run their businesses like thieves.
And the one thing I will say to United Airlines, I'll give you a bone, is that they originally sat my two kids in one row and I was about 10 rows behind. And I said, well, my kids are kind of autistic and they haven't really flown before. And they did rearrange the seating so we could all sit in the same aisle. So, okay, kudos to them.
Right.
Even though I was stressing out like, oh, is one of us going to get booed from this plane? And they didn't give me the seats until you walked up to the counter where you hand your ticket before you get on the plane. Mm-hmm. That's how late they did the seat assignments. But on the way back, I say a hefty fuck you to Sun Country Airlines, based out of Minneapolis.
Good Lord.
And, okay, so I'm there, and I have about a week left on my current job before I take another job. And I was considering just extending my stay in North Carolina to begin with. I'm like, just stay for a couple of days. You've already given your notice. Fuck it. Fuck it. Stay in North Carolina. Relax. Enjoy the weather. It's nice out there. And no, flight's not came. Everything's on. I get on the plane from Raleigh with a stop in Minneapolis, about an hour and a half layover. And as soon as I get off the plane in Minneapolis, I don't see any personnel for the airlines. I don't see anybody, any gates and stuff. I'm like, well, that's weird. And go to find the board and look up. Oh, flight to Las Vegas is canceled.
You're like, great. How do I get home?
So I did find one guy. He was just kind of like picking up trash or whatever he was doing. He had the little Sun Country logo on his shirt. And I was just like, hey, what do I do? Well, you have to go down to the ticket counter, down, go out past security, down to where you usually check in. And it's now 10 o'clock at night. And there's about 100 people in line. And they only have 30 seats for the next day's flight, which is pretty much gone. You're like, what's the point? And they come out and tell us. Well, you better just book another flight and we will refund you your money. And so immediately I get on because everybody's doing the same thing now. Everybody's getting on their phones, Priceline and booking flights. So here's how the other airlines fuck you. When they see that going on and they see a bunch of activity, like I tried to book a flight through Spirit, $240. I'm like, well, fuck it. I need to get home. I should just phone back to North Carolina in hindsight, but I hit. Oh, flight's no longer available at that price. Now it's $275.
Yeah.
And so I chose the lowest fare one, and they say we don't tell you what airline it is until after you book it, because that was only $170. I was like, screw it. And it wasn't until 6 o'clock the next night. So now here I am in Minneapolis. All the bars are closed in the airport. All the food courts are closed. All right, let me just catch an Uber to a hotel, which I had to pay for, and you're booking a hotel last minute. They jack up the price. Get in the Uber, takes me there, and now it's 10 o'clock on a Sunday night. I'm like, I need a beer. And they don't sell beer at convenience stores in Minneapolis. You have to go to a liquor store, which are all closed. At least my Uber driver was cool, and he had a friend at an Indian restaurant, a Pakistani restaurant, I forget what it was, and just sold me some beer out of the back of his restaurant.
Cool. So thank you to Uber.
Yeah, so next day, I'm like, well, I got time to kill. I'm in Minneapolis. And I slept in. If I'd gotten up early, I would have gone over to Paisley Park and seen Prince's recording studio. But I woke up too late for that. So I went over the Mall of America, which was cool. Very nice. If you're ever in Minneapolis, I highly recommend it. save the day, though. You'll need it. So get to the airport, and I realize I've only got 20 minutes because now I have to go from Minneapolis to Phoenix to Vegas. Mm-hmm. So I'm like going, that's going to cut it really close. And by 20 minutes, I mean that includes getting to the gate and deplaning, which takes it takes a good 15 minutes to deplane easily if it goes fast. So I deplane, and they changed the gate for my flight to Phoenix to the other side of Sky Harbor. If you know Sky Harbor Airport, it's a long ways from the A terminals to the C terminals. Mm-hmm. I run all the way across the airport like O.J. Simpson, and the door is just closing.
Oh, shit.
And, of course, they don't let you on. So now I go to it's American Airlines, and ever see Planes, Trains, and Automobiles? Mm-hmm. When Steve Martin gets up to the rental car desk and he's all flustered. That's kind of how I looked. And, got the girl behind there, and she was nice, but she's doing all the... I'm like, look, here's the situation. You move my gate across the airport. Now I am stuck for a second day. They at least gave me a hotel voucher, mm-hmm. And then a flight early in the morning to get back to Vegas. So I take it.
And then you made it.
Well, here's the thing. On that, because it was getting, again, late at night, they said, well, you have to call the hotel and they'll send the shuttle over to get you. Okay. Well, the airport doesn't pick up the phone for the shuttle. So I get a taxi. Now, the hotel is only about 2 miles away from Sky Harbor. So it's within the minimum. Phoenix has a $15 minimum on their cabs. And the guy doesn't want to take me. He's just like, just grab the shuttle. I'm like, they're not picking up the phone. There's the shuttles right there. I'm like, no, not for this particular hotel. It's not. I was like, I don't care. Turn on the meter. Just get me to the hotel. And again, hadn't eaten all day, other than eat earlier in the day at Mall of America. And I'm like, could you stop at a convenience store on the way over? Oh, there's no convenience stores between here and there. Now, I had already looked on a map. There was.
There's like a Circle K on every corner in Phoenix.
Or Quick Trip. Eventually, there's a Quick Trip right on the corner where you turn into the hotel. I'm like, could you please stop? Just leave the meter running. I don't give a fuck.
I will pay for it.
Yeah.
I will give you a tip if you just fucking do what I say.
So he stopped. I mean, I wouldn't have given him a tip if it wasn't for that.
Right.
In the meantime, I am texting my boss saying, nope, I'm not going to be in tomorrow either. Got delayed another day, and he's not answering me. So I'm like, oh, no, do I even have a job when I get back? Fuck, why didn't I stay in North Carolina?
Right.
I did make it back the next day. It took me 49 hours to get back from Raleigh, North Carolina. And all I have to say is, thank you, Bernie Sanders. Thank you, because he wants to fine the airlines for this.
They should be fined for it. This is fucking ridiculous. I hate their stupid ass flights. I hate that there's no more direct flights hardly anywhere. There's hardly any direct flights anymore. They make you fucking stop someplace else so they can pick up more people because they don't want to lose a goddamn dime.
Conspiracy theory number 1 today. Do you think the airlines do that because they know that you'll get stuck in an airport, then they can jack up the prices, and also it could be in collusion with the hotels in the area?
They probably don't give a shit.
They don't give a shit.
It's not that they plan it, I don't think, but they're probably like, who fucking cares? We don't care. We're not trying to get somewhere. Why the fuck would we care?
Yeah, and I asked, finally, when I got back, I contacted Sun Country because, hey, how was your flight? Oh, let me tell you how my flight went. I'm like,
tell you assholes.
I'm like, can you at least reimburse me for the hotel and the Uber? Nope. Now, can you imagine if you're a traveler without much money? What would you do?
I know.
I guess you stay in the airport. But in the airport, because of the short-staffed, all the restaurants close early now.
Yeah.
They close at like 7 o'clock at night.
Why are they still so short-staffed now?
I don't know.
I don't get it.
Who knows?
Like, I don't know what's going on. I mean...
I think it just goes to show we can't take time off because we took a couple weeks off and they overturned Roe versus Wade.
I know.
God,
I'm so glad that I don't have a uterus, but fuck, I feel so bad for every woman out there and every young girl and everything. I'm like, this is terrible.
And everybody on one side is crowing about it. Yeah, hey, the fucking courts work and everything else that they fucking say, all the other bullshit. When in reality, they don't give a fuck about babies. They don't. It's just like it's your team scored a touchdown, and that's what they're cheering. We own the libs. This got overturned.
Like, what are they going to do? Hypothetically, what if, like, their daughter gets raped or something? Or, it's like, what are you going to tell your daughter? What do you tell your daughter? Sorry, but you need to have the rapist's baby. Is that what they do? I mean, I would like to talk to one of them that's like...
What? I guess I really don't understand. What are they thinking? Because they don't want to put money in place for social programs. WIC.
Right.
Putting funding into foster care.
When a lot of these fuckheads are on stuff like WIC.
But
they don't realize that, I could get that taken away.
Yeah, the food stamps.
I mean, there's a ton of people here who are on it, who I would be willing to bet are Trump humpers, you know?
Food stamps, what else? Child care, maternity leave. They're against all of that, all of those things that would raise healthy children. It's just mind-boggling. And I do feel bad for every woman out there that you lose your freedoms. What do they say? Fucking less government, more freedom. I want my freedom. And they're willing to sacrifice the freedom of half the population.
This is the government being in the business of women's menstrual cycles. You know, women's right to decide if they want to reproduce or not. I mean...
I did go to a protest the other day, and one girl, she's about 18, she had the best sign. She goes, if I wanted you in my vagina, I would fuck a senator. The signs are the best part, but it's fucking infuriating. I can't imagine being a woman.
Well, it's like, what it boils down to, too, is like, it's basically some men, not all men, some men wanting to control women, which I keep saying, men are the ones who are in control if conception happens. Like, women cannot just produce sperm themselves. They need a donation. What the fuck? You guys are already in control. I don't know why you need to furthermore than control women's bodies. No, goddammit, I decided to put my sperm in you. You're having the baby. Like, is that what they're basically trying to say?
Well, I propose, and if any of our state officials are out there in Arizona, which immediately they're turning to a 1864 abortion ban is law of the land in Arizona now, I guess. How about the moment of conception, the moment you get that positive pregnancy test, that is when the girl can go after child support.
Right?
Right from that instant.
Right. And then if they're going to argue that life begins at conception, everyone starts out a girl. So then are they now for trans rights?
Don't be talking about...
Because
You can't bring up sex into this.
Then, like, you know, boys
Damn science.
don't become boys until, like, later.
That
that's
chromosome
why you can't,
thing.
Well,
yeah.
that's why you can't tell the sex of the babies right away either.
Oh, gotta bring science into this.
I'm like, so are they now for trans rights?
No, of course not. Of course not. That's what's coming
I like
next.
to ask these questions, though, because I'm like, y'all are confusing me. I mean, if we're going to get real technical here, then let's get technical.
God. I mean, what was your thought when you first heard that? I mean, we knew it was coming.
Right. I wasn't really that surprised, but I was like, when I first heard it, I just started thinking, I'm like, yeah, because that's what this planet needs more is, you know, forced births of people who are telling you they don't want to have babies. Like, it's none of my business if somebody wants to have a baby or not. That's none of my business. I don't know why these people can't look at it like that. It's none of your fucking business. And the fact that they're using, like, religion is even more upsetting because we're supposed to be freedom of religion. And not all religions believe that abortion is wrong. So you're now going to impose Christian Sharia law on everyone?
Doesn't the Bible say that if a married woman has an affair, gets pregnant, that she should abort it?
Yeah, she has to drink it was something at the time that will kill the fetus.
And also the Bible does say that life begins at first breath.
And it also says that there's also something in there about if the mother's life is in jeopardy, the fetus must die. If it's going to be like life-threatening to the mother's already here. So then you should get rid of.
How come we know more about the Bible than what they do?
That I know.
We're not even religious. And for anybody that's listening to this and goes, you're just baby killers. No, we're not exactly pro-abortion, but we are pro-choice.
We're not the ones having the abortions, but I mean, like, I'm not going to tell other people that they can't have abortion.
But the bullshit of late-term abortions comes in, and that's just like, it's like something like 1% of abortion are late-term abortions, and that's usually because it's a severe health risks to the mother.
Yes, that's what late-term abortion is for. If it's going to kill the mother, then they have to, do these people not think that that's a god-awful decision for someone to have to make?
People don't think. We've lost the ability to critically think.
No shit.
But, you know, we're going to expand this podcast. We're going to get some new business ventures. As a matter of fact, we're going to have our first commercial, and we're sponsoring ourselves, you know. So,
y'all thought that only Alex Jones could have.
Yeah, I mean, if Alex Jones
market products,
if Alex Jones can market his I don't know, hard-on medicine or whatever, what does he fucking market? These health mixing things you put in your drinks.
Is he the one that came up with the testicle tanner?
Did he? I don't think so.
And then got Tucker Carlson to peddle it.
Anyway,
okay.
What we're going to do is we're going to take a commercial break, a first commercial break ever, and we will be right back after these messages.
Ladies and gentlemen, get ready for the reality redemption sex toys. First we have the No, I'm Good dildo. Our penises last longer and won't get you pregnant. Your body, your choice. And also, we have the self-lubricating pocket pussies. We'll keep it wet because red, white, and blue, and gunmetal gray. And when it squirts, it smells just like gun oil.
Wow. Hey, you know what? I also heard that our pocket pussies, they're operated by voice command.
Do tell.
Yeah, you know, like, hey Siri. This one is hey Ivanka.
It answers to Ivanka. Just like Donald Trump would approve. Daddy's seal of approval.
Yeah, 4 settings. Okay, 4 settings. The first one, it's voice activated, so you say the Lord's Prayer. Second setting, MAGA, Make America Great Again, Daddy.
Just over and over.
Then you have Ivanka's voice, hey Daddy. Third setting, let's go Brandon. Let's go Brandon.
And then is that for the Trump supporter that really wants to fuck Biden?
Yeah. In the fourth setting, you just say anything in German. And they take care of itself. So
I think the only thing I know is Scheisse and
Niet. You will never be hearing Niet anymore when you use the Reality Redemption sex toys. And you won't get pregnant. So no abortions. Win-win situation for everyone.
Until they start outlawing dildos. So hurry up and get your hands on yours today.
So go to realityredemption.com. Okay. And we're back to the show. All right. So we're peddling sex toys, apparently.
Yeah, we've got new products.
Yeah.
Check out our website.
Yeah. I think I have to create one first. But hey, if Alex Jones can do it, put us on dude, maybe we can fucking get a spot on InfoWars.
To come sell our products?
Yeah. He won't know. He won't listen to us.
Right?
So back to, why do you think like the Supreme Court is shoving all this shit? It seems like every day the Supreme Court makes another decision. Now they're saying, and I don't really have a problem with this, like that coach that wanted to kneel after the game to say a prayer. Of course, I thought you weren't supposed to kneel at football games. I thought that was a bad thing.
Right. But also, with that, I guess he was like forcing students to do it or coercing them, like insinuating that they wouldn't be allowed to play if they didn't participate.
Right. Well, because
that's shoving your religion on people.
The atmosphere at a college football game.
And they were not
high school
comfortable.
Football team.
Some of the students were not comfortable and did not want to participate, but wanted to be able to play, so they did it.
Yeah.
And then, okay, and here's another thing. With getting back to them not knowing what's in their good book. So let's take, for instance, the Sermon on the Mount. The Sermon on the Mount says that you're supposed to pray, but you are not supposed to do it like in a grandiose manner where you have to do it for attention. That you're supposed to pray in silence and then you will be greatly rewarded. These are other things that they don't even know about their own fucking religion. So he did it on purpose to gain all this attention. He knew what he was doing.
Now, if I had the time to be a substitute teacher, what I would do is I would go in and I would say some Buddhist prayer or some Muslim prayer.
What about the Church of Satan?
Or Church of Satan prayer. I would play some Ozzy Osbourne music. I don't know. Again, here's where I stand on that. If they want to pray in school, I say you have a moment of silence during the beginning of the day, and every kid can do their little prayer, their Muslim prayer, their Christian prayer, their Catholic prayer, their Buddhist prayer, their satanic prayer, or just not do anything.
Or send them to religious school. Like, I had to go to Catholic school. We did have to pray every day, but that's private school. That's not public school doing that.
Did you have to wear that little skirt?
Yeah, we had
That's
to wear...
the only good thing about Catholic schools.
We had to wear jumpers, and then when you got to, like, 5th grade, then you were in the skirts.
Yeah. But it's not, yeah. God, religion is so funky.
It's, okay, with this whole allowing prayer in school, I'm like, after this happened, and the Roe v. Wade, and these are both issues pushed by religion, I'm like, fuck it. Make the churches pay taxes then.
Yeah, definitely.
If you guys are fucking intruding into our daily lives and you've infiltrated our government, it is time. We're supposed to have separation of church and state. We don't have that anymore. So it is time that you have to fucking pay taxes.
Right. And the theory, again, because these are constitutionalists, right? That's what they like to call themselves. I'm making air quotes in the air if nobody can see me. The people that wrote the Constitution said that this was not a Christian nation. Mm-hmm. Because they wanted America to be a melting pot, all sorts of different religions, different backgrounds coming in, very diverse background.
A lot of our forefathers too were deists, which is like they may have believed in God themselves or God, but they never imposed that on anyone else. They believed that you were supposed to do that on your own time, basically, in your own life. That you're not supposed to force that onto other people. You know, kind of like what the Bible says.
Yeah.
Clearly.
Again, I have no problem with religion. Do whatever gets you through the day. Makes you happy. Good for you. Embrace it. But your little book there, your little Harry Potter fairy tale book, or whatever you want to call it. I probably shouldn't say that, but it's that's what you abide by. That's not what I should abide by, or your interpretation of it.
The biggest thing that I have a problem with is the fucking hypocrisy. Like the whole sitting there talking shit about the Muslims because of Sharia law. I'm like, you are literally forcing us to live under Christian Sharia law. You are forcing people to do that. When you will sit there and talk shit about people who have a darker skin complexion than you doing these things. You're fucking hypocritical bitches. This is the thing that fucking irritates me with them.
Right, and we're not talking about all the good Christians out there. During the Roe versus Wade protest down at the park, same way they had BLM, 95% of the people driving by that chose to, honk, whatever, throw the bird, 95% of it was positive. Mm-hmm. Positive people saying yes. Now, being that Mojave County is 90% Republican, I mean, that really goes to show that a lot of Republicans don't support this. I was seeing like a lot of, get back to Roe versus Wade for a quick minute, that I saw a lot of people, that female Trump voters who were outraged that Roe versus Wade got overturned. I'm like, what did you think was going to happen? And to our Bernie or bust people who didn't want to vote for Hillary, what did you think was going to happen?
Yeah.
This is on you. You don't really get to be outraged at this because you caused this.
You had a hand in
it. You had to just plug your nose and check the box.
Yeah.
The same thing with...
Same thing that we had to do. It's not like we were thrilled as fuck to do it, But we're like, it's certainly better than the alternative.
Yeah. Saying, let's see, back to Supreme Court. New York City has some of the strongest gun laws in the nation. and the Supreme Court decided the state cannot decide a person's right to carry a firearm.
So now this issue is not a state issue.
This issue is not a state issue.
So we're going to leave abortions as state
up
issues.
to the state.
But this one on guns is not a state issue.
And I tried to have...
That's when we're going to step in.
I tried to have that conversation with
somebody. In our
somebody.
fucking Superman capes.
I tried to have that conversation with somebody, and they said, well, because the Second Amendment is covered under the Constitution and abortion wasn't. No, Roe versus Wade found it was covered under, it was the 14th Amendment, right? Like, what was it?
I know there's something weird about Roe versus Wade to where it never technically...
It doesn't say abortion in the amendment, but it goes to the privacy of a patient. Something about the wording in there.
And then now, isn't it scary too when you have one of the justices, Clarence Thomas, saying there's a whole bunch of other bills that we're going to need to look into, or judgments we're going to need to look into. And I'm like, will one of them be loving? Are you going to look into that too, since you're looking of all things in the past? Because he's bringing up, like gay marriage and all this other things, purposely bringing those things
Contraception.
up to scare people. Yeah. I'm like, so how far back are we talking? Will you be touching on loving? Because that will void your own marriage, dummy.
They're not that bright, are they?
Even the justices are fucking stupid.
I don't know. And fuck, the other thing I was saying about this kid in Chicago, we keep on circling back. Again, he was 22 years old. The kid, if you just look at him, looks like he was disturbed. He just had that look, had neck tattoos, had a face tattoo. He looked like Post Malone with shaggy hair.
And how old was he?
22.
How did he already get all those tattoos? Like, tattoos are expensive.
I don't know. But but he attended Trump rallies. Now, I'm not blaming Trump. Not blaming Trump at all. But he dresses up as Where's Waldo to Trump rallies.
Oh, he's that guy?
Yeah.
And they finally just lost it, and he's like, I'm just going to go shoot people.
Yeah. But now the people on like the Sean Hannity pages are going, yep, it was a leftist plant. The left planted him there. He was in women's clothes, LGBTQ.
Oh, they just do that because they have no solid argument to bring up. So they do these ridiculous fucking arguments. Like they'll start doing the stuff of labeling people as groomers. We've seen that happen to one of our friends.
Yeah.
I mean, it's fucking ridiculous.
It happened here after our Pride event. And now, did you see, like, the Proud Boys are going to these, to the drag shows and disrupting the drag shows, saying that they're grooming children and getting, like, angry. Then the drag shows have to get called off. The country's just fucked.
It's like, when I hear this, I'm like, there's going to continue being mass shootings. I mean, they're going to go in and they're going to, some lunatic is going to be like, I've got to go save children from these groomers.
Hey, it's just as American as...
Because they're getting it in their head that, this is what's going on. These people are grooming children. And then you have these fucking lunatics that can't think for themselves. And you're like, oh my God, the only thing I do know how to do, I got a pile of guns. I guess I can go make a difference. I mean, that's...
I don't know. But I guess speaking of being fucked, we should just take another commercial break.
Okay.
All right. We'll be back after these messages.
There's nothing better.
Nothing better. And hold on, strap in, people. Because you've seen those flags, they're everywhere. Fuck Joe Biden. Well, now, the reality redemption, Joe Biden's sex doll.
So you can ready.
Yes, you can fill it with hot air. Because you got a lot of hot air. And you can fuck Joe Biden.
It might make a couple of gaffes, but just not by
Yeah. You can even pull his hair while you're fucking Joe Biden.
Take all your aggression out.
Oh, all right. And back.
And last but not least, we have the grab you by the pussy sex toy and gun-shaped dildos. Variety of assortments. You'll find at least one you like.
Go to our website, realityredemption.com.
Reality sex toys.
I think we're going to make a killing on this.
I think so too.
Yeah. Yeah, fucking hey.
Yeah, we've got a lot of, I mean, maybe we would be helping them by getting all their aggressions out. They finally would have a discreet place to go buy all this stuff.
And since
that would really turn them on.
And since the majority of them can't get laid anyways.
And they're like mad about things that it's like you're winning. So maybe they need some sex in their life. Right. And it's got to be with themselves because have you been to a Trump rally?
Yeah, how come all like the men that want to overturn Roe v. Wade couldn't get laid in the first place?
They're probably like, these bitches shouldn't be having sex if they're not going to fuck me. I'm taking away their right to abort.
So, 1-6. What do you think?
Well, the hearings, what's been coming out?
I just watched those hearings and I want to just get up and throw a ball of ketchup against the wall. Out of excitement.
on a expensive porcelain plate?
Oh my God. How do you...
He should get in trouble for destruction of property too. That's not his property.
Right.
To destroy.
Now,
what a baby.
I know. Why can't people see that? He's just having
even a kid
temper tantrum.
Doesn't do that. If a kid threw their food against the wall, that parent would beat that kid's ass. How come nobody was spanking him? Of course he might like that.
Well, Melania might have afterwards. Or I think Ivanka was like, Daddy, you've been a bad boy. Although, I don't know how true it is, when after he gave that speech and told everybody to march to the Capitol and he was going with them and he demanded the Secret Service drive him there. Mm-hmm. I don't see how his little arms could have reached for the steering wheel from the back seat.
All the way in the back, yeah. That's what I was like trying to picture that in my mind, and I'm like, did he? And how is he going to move his fat ass and get his fat fucking self through? Don't those have like those partition things?
You would think.
His fat fucking ass ain't fitting in there.
And how did his little hands go around the throat of another Secret Service agent?
I know, lunging at a Secret Service guy.
Now, they're saying that, she made this all up, but
she was under oath, though. She can get tried for perjury.
Oh, it's just fucked. It's just fucked. Can we, at the very least, just ban him from running for office again?
I know. At least just be like, look, you're disqualified. So, which means, like, I think that I don't think he would want to win this time either, just like he didn't want to win in the first place. But I think he really wants to be able to continue to run his grift and suck more money out of his idiots that follow him. Hasn't he already got like $250 million out of them?
Right.
I think he wants to just be able to run the grift to get more money out of them. And that's sad.
Do you think if he doesn't get the Republican nomination, he goes as a third-party candidate Because that would be like the
That'd be
best
the greatest thing.
Because it would split the vote.
Hopefully his fucking ego is that bad to where he would do that. He would just go independent.
Yeah.
And that's the only thing that would like... Because, I mean, DeSantis
is scarier than Trump.
He has a good chance, though, of making it. You know what I mean? Oh, yeah. I mean, look for the United States to get even more extreme if DeSantis becomes our president.
Yeah, because then if you speak out against the government can come after you like they did with Disney, like he did with the baseball team, the Rays down in Tampa.
Right.
And the Rays just said, hey, we got a gun violence problem. And he took away funding for their spring training facility.
See, what these companies need to do is just pack up their shit and move out of state. They should have done that. They should have, like, especially when we found out that, okay, take for instance Georgia. They have like one of the biggest pride festivals, or the biggest one, right? Theirs is bigger than San Francisco.
Yeah.
They could just move Disneyland to Atlanta and be like, fine, we're done. We're not going to mess with you anymore or your rules. We're done. We're leaving. I mean, it sucks because it would hurt people that are working there. So that's why it's looking like DeSantis is so powerful. And that's probably why he feels so powerful, is because he knows that Disney isn't going to fuck all their employees over and everything that's been created because of Disney. Like, that whole city is basically run by Disney.
Yeah. The amount of income that they bring to that area. You know, and one of the things was because of the Lightyear movie, which all the conservatives are mad that Tim Allen didn't voice Buzz Lightyear. Even though Buzz Lightyear, the character, is what Buzz Lightyear, the toy, was based off of. So the voice was slightly different because they used Chris Evans, Captain America, who would probably appeal to little kids more than Tim Allen would. So that's Disney being woke. Well,
so is it a... Wait a second. This movie... Is it based off of the Toy Story character or actual Buzz Lightyear?
Oh, it's based off of the kid in Toy Story had a Buzz Lightyear doll because he went to go see the Buzz Lightyear movie. Okay, picture like a kid going to see Star Wars and he gets all the Star Wars action figures. It's the same sort of thing.
Okay. Because I was trying to figure out why it's not part of the Toy Story.
So Lightyear is the movie that the kid went to go see and then got all into Buzz Lightyear and forgot about Woody, if you know your Toy Story.
Okay, yeah. I know Woody's the cowboy.
But the liberals, or not the liberals, the conservatives were all mad because there was a same-sex kiss. How dare in 2022 you have a same-sex kiss? In the Kingman movie theater, they cut that scene out of the movie.
Why didn't they just grow some balls and say, we're not even going to play it here?
Well, because you want the money that it brings in.
Yeah, you want, because it's all about the money. So they're like, oh, we'll just edit it for you.
Can you believe this? Can you believe?
I wonder, wait a second. I've got a question then, a legal question. Would whoever made the movie be able to go after theaters for editing it like that? Are you allowed to do that?
Well, Saudi Arabia said they weren't going to show the movie if they had that scene, if they left the scene in it. And Disney just said, okay, don't show it.
Uh-huh.
And Disney was originally the corporation what was going to cut the scene out, but the people and employees that worked on the movie pressured Disney into being like, no, put it out as we made it. And Disney said, okay. So originally Disney did want to cut the scene. But I don't know. I mean, they call us snowflakes. But you're going after Pixar movies, because God forbid there is a same-sex. Well, it was an interracial kiss too. It was an interracial same-sex kiss. Come to think about it. Oh, that's probably it. That's why.
Those are two whammies for them.
Yeah.
Two hard blows. How did they even make it through?
But you're banning books. You can't teach critical race theory in school.
What is it that you said that... Didn't you send me a text that said what they now call...
Slavery.
Am I fucking reading this right?
Yes. Involuntary relocation. Just like...
And I'm just like, isn't that the same shit that they make fun of the left for, is coming up with these new terms?
Yeah.
I'm like, look in the mirror. The next time you have the urge, conservatives, to talk about something, to go look in the mirror and say the involuntary relocation, because I want you to see how fucking stupid it looks when you say it. And you don't get to do that when you say it. You can't see it, but look at yourself in the mirror saying that shit.
Yeah, and on that, Sun Country didn't pay me reparations for involuntarily relocating me.
Right.
I had a hard day's labor in Minneapolis.
Having to go to the Mall of America.
Fuck. Okay, and then you fucking... How pussy that fucking Republicans are. They go after fucking Elmo. Ted Cruz goes after Elmo because Elmo got a shot.
Elmo chose to get the vaccine, and boy, did that piss off Ted Cruz.
What's wrong with these people? First,
Muppets will not be getting vaccines on my watch.
Do you think Ted Cruz is like a furry?
He's gotta be.
Because first he had a hard on for Big Bird, right? I forget what Big Bird did.
Well, I can see why his wife doesn't want to fuck him, too. Look at his face. His face alone. So unfuckable.
And then he goes after Elmo. And what a crazy state Texas is. Crazy state. Yeah, Elmo.
But it's a good state to go get a government job in, because apparently you don't have to do fuck all and still get paid. You don't have to go into a mass shooting, a school in a mass shooting,
right?
Still get paid. You don't have to deal with a power outage. You can skip off to Cancun, talking to you, Ted Cruz, and still get paid.
And blame the federal government when you privatized the electrical system in Texas.
Right. And you still get paid.
Yeah.
And then they can sit there and try to blame the whole situation where the people came in on the trucks and died because they had like record heat that day. Went through 4 checkpoints in their state, and no one...
And then you can blame Biden for that one.
And then you still... And you can still get paid. Like, apparently you don't have to do any inspecting.
Huh. Maybe Texas is where it's at.
I guess it's like the fucking blame everyone else state.
Can we fucking do this podcast from Texas, and then they can pay us and we don't have to do it? Yeah, that sounds good.
Yeah.
Huh. I guess we'll end on some crazy conspiracy theories. Number 1, since we started off with mass shootings. Okay? And we'll preface this by saying we're talking out of our asses because this is going to sound ridiculous.
So do you hear that, QAnon folks? You too are talking out of your asses.
All of these shootings are sponsored by the NRA, and the NRA supplies the guns to these wackos. You know why? What happens after every mass shooting?
Thoughts and prayers?
Well, does that come first, or do the sales of more AR-15s go through the roof?
Oh yeah, it's thoughts and prayers, and then people are like, holy fuck, I better start ordering.
So do you think
guns and ammo?
So all the NRA has to do is supply an AR-15 to a lunatic, point him in the right direction, of who to shoot up.
Hell, they probably even pay them. They're probably like, look, we'll at least make good for your family. Okay, so you can at least leave the $5,000 to your family because this is probably not going to go well for you, but you're okay with that, right?
Yeah, I mean, why not? Why not? I mean, because they always say that the left, is the ones that create these mass shootings. But isn't the left incompetent and stupid?
Yeah, would they be able to accomplish this?
Isn't Biden dumb?
Look at their leader. He can't even make a sentence without gaffing all over the place.
Yeah, so how is the left coming up with these mass shootings? Or do you have these highly trained military, well, not even military, backyard, I don't know, whatever, gun nuts are the ones that are actually organizing the mass shootings?
Got to be one of the two. I mean, if they're sitting there saying that liberals hate fucking guns and whatnot, then why would a liberal even pick one up and go, if that's their rhetoric, they're like, liberals hate guns and they're trying to take my guns from me. Like, you can't have it both ways. So pick which fucking ridiculous argument you're going to go with.
Yeah. Conspiracy number 2. The oil companies and the Republicans are artificially keeping the price of gasoline high in order to get the Democrats out of office.
Now that one, I wouldn't fucking put it past them.
That one's not far-fetched.
They want to get back to their tax cuts and their oil subsidies. That's what they want to get back to. They're like, we like our life better when Republicans they don't make us pay for shit and they give us free money. It's socialism for the rich, and we want to get back to that, damn it.
Yeah, so we got that one. Let's see, what other crazy conspiracies can we think of? The airlines are in cahoots with Priceline and hotels to cancel flights at the last minute. They say it's like a pilot shortage, but where did all the pilots go?
I know. That does not make... That seems like a conspiracy to me. I'm like pilots are going to give up good-paying pilot jobs?
To do what? Because they got...
I know. To what? Go...
Because they got a stimulus check?
To finally go get one of those $15 an hour jobs. I mean, like, what? This makes no fucking sense to me.
Now, some of the airlines, the flight staff and the pilots were going on strike because they were overworked and they were working more hours than they should because there are regulations on how many hours you can fly.
That's like for safety reasons. Yeah. Like, you don't want to be on a flight where the pilot's been flying for 20 hours. I mean, even if they do have autopilot.
Oh. And finally, I don't know, I think lizard people run everything. I mean, Mitch McConnell, he's got to be a lizard, right?
He licks his lips like he's one, doesn't he?
I mean, he says, like, he came out and said today, like, the workforce is low because people are still using that stimulus money that came from COVID a couple years ago.
Didn't we get like 3 checks if you were lucky?
Yeah.
I only got 2.
How far does that money go? Do you think it really lasts 3 years?
Let's ask them how far. Okay, what's the most money that people got? What was it, like $1,200?
Yeah, $1,200.
And then you got more if you had children.
Yeah.
Okay, so just the $1,200 alone, because he's already got kids who, if he has kids, they're long out of the house or whatnot.
Right.
Mitch McConnell, I want to know, how far does $1,200 go for you? A meal? I mean, like, you're married to a shipping heiress. How far can you go on $1,200?
Probably to lunch, an expensive lunch in Washington with one of the oil companies he's in bed with.
$1,200 for a regular person, they might be able to make it
Couple weeks.
Maybe even a month. If they really budgeted, if they really were like, we're living off of all rice and beans, like that is what we're buying, that's what you're having for fucking lunch, breakfast, lunch, and dinner, they might be able to make it on that. But then you have all their other expenses. So maybe if they live close enough to work to where they could fucking walk if they had to go there. Oh, wait. You already said they're not working because they're living the good life on their stimulus check.
Right. High on the horse.
So they have to go do everything. They live right next to the grocery store, literally right next door to it.
Although, $1,200 probably does buy a lot of lizard food. So maybe he's got that. Maybe because he's a lizard. Maybe that $1,200 does go away.
Buys a lot of bugs. Buy a lot of crickets.
God. And the last conspiracy. The fucking right wing is forcing this podcast to talk about politics because of all the stupid shit they do on a daily basis. We don't want to fucking talk about this shit.
We would like to get back to lighthearted conversation.
Yes, but no, you gotta fucking overturn Roe versus Wade to fuck the Reality Redemption podcast because you know that we'll talk about it.
Yeah.
The airlines strand me in fucking Minneapolis, so I'd be forced to talk about it because any press is better than no press. So, anyway, that's why I'll go check out our website of sex toys because we're getting fucked.
And we got to start making a buck.
Yeah. We got to make a buck. Buck to fuck. So, yeah, check out that Joe Biden sex toy. Sex doll.
I think you're really going to like it.
Yeah.
He looks very sleepy, so he's already ready to go.
Sleepy Joe. Fuck. Well, we just sold one to Bill Cosby.
No date rape drugs required in this bad boy.
All right. On that note, we will talk to you next time.
Bye, y'all.
Bye.